Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Young Justice Season 4 Phantoms review. We start with episode 17, Leviathan Wakes. After last week, where we came off of 3 whole episodes of Young Justice, we now get the conclusion of the Aqualad, Calder arc, whatever you want to call it, the Ocean arc, Atlantis arc, whatever you want to call it, which makes me feel this like maybe if they would have started this season with 2 episodes and then did the next 2 episodes, sequentially, like that and then that, kind of it just felt like that this Aquaman arc was just kind of rushed. But we start with King Orin, sorry, I'm trying to get their names out. King Orin or King Arthur, going and visiting his brother again in prison. While he's talking to him, Miss Martian is there. She verifies that at least he believes that he is the original Orim, Ocean Master. And he doesn't believe he's a clone, which, as I said, they thought that he was. We then go over to Zebel, which is one of the other cities of the ocean where Mira's father rules over, where we see lots of unrest, and Miras and Orin, gosh, I'm going to get that confused so much. Orin, I think I got that wrong. Miras is Mira's father. I don't know if I said that wrong, but whatever. Okay, sorry. Okay, so Miras and Orin almost come to blows, because they're at odds as per normal. I mean, I think they were allied actually in the movies. I don't know what they were like in the comic books, but there's a lot of civil unrest. The people are calling for Aryans, to be named High King, yada yada. So there's a lot of unrest amongst the people. We then go over to the Aquaman, Calder, and the team of 3 other people. I don't remember. I know Lagoon Boy's one of them. It says that they are the under ocean or the undersea, under ocean, whatever it is. Basically, I'm assuming it is below the one of the lowest points in the ocean. So it's like you got your ocean and then you got your under ocean, I guess. Probably some nasty little buggers down here. And we find out that they've been down there actually for a couple weeks. Everybody's sporting some nice facial hair. Aqualad and his husband are, and I don't know if Lagoon Boy's sport grows hair, and what's her face probably doesn't grow hair. But then they come across a nasty king crab. This thing's huge and epic, and just trying to eat them because he's probably just looking for a meal. What they do is they try to fight it off, and then Lagoon Boy, I think what does he take? He takes something, and he just jumps down his throat and scares him off. I think it was like a pillar or something. I don't remember, but yeah, that sucker was out of there. So Lagoon Boy beat the big king crab. Good for him. He kind of burrows back down. That kind of opens up the way to Old Atlantis. Yay! So then they go down into Old Atlantis, and you can see like the head of Vandal Savage, and then there's a skeleton underneath the head, which is, I believe, the original Aryan, which is the one that got crushed when Atlantis fell. So that then leads us into other parts. The council goes to vote for, because I mean with those bones there, they don't really mention it. They just say, "Oh, I don't know whoever he or her was," but we kind of do because of previous episodes in this season. If you go back to the old Atlantis episodes where Atlantis and the Chaos Lords sunk Clarion, the Witch Boy, sunk Atlantis, we kind of know who that is. More on that in a minute. So the council goes into a vote. They vote Aryan as High King. But through all of this, Orim asks for Miss Martian to come. And asks her to clear up his mind, help him get his stuff clear and everything like that. And we find out what Project Venus is, because that was a credit sequence in one of the previous episodes. I think it was 15. I think maybe 14. I don't remember, but yeah. So we find out what Project Venus is. Got to be careful what I say there. So we find out that Arian's a clone from Savage. A clone from Savage, so he's obviously been playing a part. Orym is also a clone. A lot of what they've been finding out is through the eyes of the Orym clone, who was cloned, going in and out of consciousness. And of course, Vandal Savage is there with Arian explaining his whole plot right in front of Ocean Master. Well, Orym's clone. So now we find out that this is one of Vandal Savage's big ploys to take over 3/4 of the planet, or at least put a chess piece in a place where he wants it. Finally, Aquaman and his team find the original crown of Arian, and they get attacked by a big dino whale. I can't even. It's not even like a shark or a whale. It's like a dino whale. I can't just. It's like red, and it just looks like a dinosaur. And I know that's like, whales can be dinosaurs because whales were around when the dinosaurs were around. I understand that, but if you look at this thing, it looks like a freaking dinosaur underwater with fins. Anyway, so they get attacked by that, and they combat with that a little bit. Aquaman gets on his back, and the whole team kind of attaches to his back, and then Aquaman kind of steers the thing upwards, and they use it to punch a hole through the upper layer, and then they can escape through a small hole. So yay for Dino Whale. That's got to be a new toy. Dino Whale. Anyway, I want Dino Whales on toy shelves this Christmas. Next, we go back and we see Arian put on the High King crown. So the entire council votes for him as High King. Well, not the entire council. Aquaman doesn't, or I'm sorry, King Oryn doesn't, and Miras does not vote for him as High King. He votes for himself. Whatever. So he puts on the High King crown, and he gets Raiders of the Lost Ark. He just melts away into bone and yada yada, and then a beam goes up to the Chaos Lords, and it looks like the crown is depowered, is what it looks like. So in that, then, Mira comes up and she does some big speech about King Oryn and how he is, and then King Oryn is like, actually, I kind of feel like you're the High King. And I'm like, what? Ooh. A little bit of turn of events there, but okay. So she puts on the crown, and now Mira is a High King, and it's unanimously voted that King Mira is the new High King of the ocean. So which is fine. I like Mira. We find out after that, the way I wrote this, Aquaman appoints Aquaman and brings in another Aquaman. So basically there's this chat that Oryn, Calder, and Lagoon Boy and Mira are having. And basically, like, okay, so Calder's like, so what we do now, I think he's called him Lord Oryn instead of, his High King or his king or whatever. And he says, well, I think I might rejoin the Justice League and help my wife and, raise our child. And Aquaman says, and I will absolutely relinquish the title of Aquaman to you, of course. And then Aquaman's like, look, the League has 4 Green Lanterns, 2 Flashes. They can live with 2 Aquamans, or possibly 3. And he looks at Lagoon Boy, and then Lagoon Boy's like, really? So yeah, so now there's going to be 3 Aquamans on the team. I'm sure that they'll differentiate them. But yeah, I mean, like, the League has always had at least 2 or 3 Green Lanterns on the team. I don't ever remember there being 2 Flashes at a time, but I mean, you've got Barry, Wally, Bart. I guess, is Bart a part of the League in this one? Or maybe they were referencing Jay Garrick and Barry. I don't know, but still. So yeah, so that's that happened there. So now Orin is going to be a part of the Justice League again. Calder actually says, actually, this is a great time for me to take a leave of absence because I've sorely neglected my husband and my duties to him and my family and everything like that. So Calder is finally getting a long earned break because they've been pushing throughout this whole arc, which has only been 2 weeks long. It seems so short. Um, but he's been pushing for him to take a they've been pushing for him to take a break, and really, I mean, he's been nonstop for a decade, it seems like. So um, after that, Dr. Fate confronts Vandal Savage and pisses off Vandal Savage to no end, basically saying, what did you think would happen when your clone put on the crown? Like, Lords of Order will not allow your puppet to wear the crown. So Dr. Fate, which I believe was 13 in there. I don't think it was Zatanna. It's definitely a woman. So I believe it was 13's version of Dr. Fate. And basically, Nobu, of course, being Dr. Fate's or Vandal Savage's son, basically, he said, coming to Gloat's son. And he said, did you really think that was going to work? Pisses off Vandal. Vandal actually seemed a lot more angry in this than he ever has in any of the previous episodes. I was actually like, ooh, Vandal's mad. I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. So I really like that. Orin cleans Orum's slate. So he basically Orin goes and visits his brother in prison, and basically says, look, you cannot be held accountable for what your previous, your original Orim did, and you cannot be held accountable for what you did under the influence of the light. So you have a clean slate. Go make a life for yourself, whatever. So he did. He left, and he showed him swimming away from Poseidonus, and hopefully he's going to make a good life for himself. And we finally catch up with Superboy in the Twilight Zone. I don't know what you want to call it. We basically see the part that we saw at the end of Young Justice season, or the end of at the end of part 1 of Young Justice season 4, which was Zatanna seeing the bus flying through the Phantom Zone, whatever that zone is called, and the bus scene, and then them seeing Superboy saying, wait, and is the exact position there. He kind of like went out of his way to make the right position, it felt like a little bit. So now we've gotten in loop with that. So I figure moving on, we're going to start seeing, because really everything has kind of run concurrently with the Dr. Fate arc of this, or Zatanna arc of this, and the Aqualad arc, Ocean arc, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. So these arcs, I really should just pick names on these arcs and just stick to them, but I can't. I'm too ADD. So anyway, so these have all kind of ran concurrent. So we're kind of getting to the point where we're finally all caught up and delving into new territory-ish, because a lot of this stuff in the last 2 arcs have run concurrently. So at the end credits, Calder is talking with Black Canary on the lookout, and basically talking about it was a decade ago that we rescued Superboy from Cadmus, which means that this is taking place on July 4th, because the initial episode of Young Justice was called Independence Day, and that was it. I mean, Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad went to Cadmus and rescued Superboy, and they formed the team that day. So it's been officially a decade since those events went down. So, yeah. I really enjoyed this arc, don't get me wrong. It gave us a better look into Atlantis and the oceans and the realms and everything like that. I just felt like that it feels rushed because we got 3 episodes and then we got 1 episode this week. I really feel like if they would have done 2 episodes the first week, 1 and then 1, because a lot of these arcs are only running at 4, like these arcs are running at 4 episodes apiece. I really feel like it would have stretched it out a little bit more. We would have gotten 2 episodes the first week, it would have been great. And then the third one the following week, and the 4th one this week, or next week, or whatever it would have been really nice. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this arc. I love Calder's Aquaman. Um, I, but yeah, so we're gonna find out where we're gonna be going from here. I know that there is still a Rocket portion, which I'm kind of excited to know about Rocket. We don't know much. Let's be real, like she's the out of the season one Young Justice characters, we know least about her. She was in a couple episodes on the team, and that's about it. I mean, we've seen her in passing a lot, but it'd be interesting to get to know her. I would love to see a Nightwing portion. I don't know if that's what we're going into next, but Rocket and Nightwing, uh, the kind of hitting the original team from season one. Um, and also, I kind of want to see more of like Bart. Maybe even more. I mean, we didn't see anything from Beast Boy this week, which I, they didn't really leave it resolved at the end. Um, at the end of last week, they had the intervention, and then they talked about him having to do a mandatory counseling session. So where we're going from here is going to kind of be up in the air, and I'm in for it. I'm really enjoying this so far. As I said, ever since really the since the Croc arc, I've kind of been more and more invested. I unfortunately the Mars portion of the beginning was just a little too slow. I felt like, but this is really picked up and ramped up, and I'm actually really enjoying this. Um, I just hope there's like a big payoff like they do in every season of Young Justice. Every season, right towards the end, there's a big payoff where the wool gets pulled out from across our eyes, and we're like, oh shit! So, yeah. With all that being said, please let me know what you thought of this Atlantis Aquaman Aqualad arc. Leave your comments below. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you maybe kind of sort of maybe heard of. I will catch you guys in the next one, and I'll catch you later.